Parents, there's a silent epidemic affecting our children that most doctors aren't talking about, and you certainly won't hear about it from traditional media either, since nearly all of their funding comes from big food, big pharma, and the conventional medical machine. Depending on what research you use, and especially if you factor in how fast the rates of all these conditions are climbing, we now know that over half of US children are struggling with chronic health issues. While the conventional medical and media machines have tried to normalize chronic illnesses like obesity, anxiety, ADHD, asthma, and allergies these last many years, thankfully parents today are waking up and saying enough already. It truly is time for a change, and it can't come fast enough for our kids and our families. If you've been up late at night searching for hope, answers, and help that will finally take your family's health in a positive direction, then this video and our message is for you. In this video, we're going to dive into the real root causes of chronic illness in kids and what you can do to reverse this trend for not only your family today, but future generations to come. An alarming 40% of children today are suffering from at least one chronic health condition, from neurodevelopmental disorders like autism and anxiety, ADHD, to complex autoimmune conditions, allergies, and the spectrum of mental health challenges. Our kids are facing unprecedented obstacles to their well-being. If you're tired of being told it's just genetics or that your child will grow out of it while watching them continue to struggle despite numerous medications and interventions, this video could change your family's life. Before we get into what really is causing our kids to be so sick, let's make sure you first know the two common theories put out that are not the whole story. To be honest, the first one probably will not shock you, but the second one just might. First, the entire traditional medical system is built upon the concept or theory of genetics, meaning if you have good genes, you have good health, and if you don't, you don't. But the truth is, it takes our genes thousands of years to adapt and change significantly, so there is no way that genetics alone can explain the insane rise in chronic illness in our kids and families. We now know for sure that's nearly entirely lifestyle and environment, that the keys to good health lie not just in our genetic code, but in our lifestyle choices and the environment that surrounds us. Secondly, when most people awesomely start to really look under the hood and get into this amazing natural health and wellness movement sweeping our world over the last 10 to 20 years, they tend to add it all up in a way that blames one single issue: toxins and chemicals. Now, without a doubt, we like to repeatedly say, kids and chemicals don't mix. And our wildly toxic and chemical-filled world is definitely a major issue that is fueling the chronic illness explosion. It's important parents know it's not the only causative element, though. The real culprit and hidden in plain sight trigger of this explosion in chronic illness is something we all know about: stress. We'll break this down in detail in the next section, but it's honestly that simple and that detrimental. Stress is a big deal. Stress and totally wound up and worn out nervous systems are so common and so often now, we've mostly normalized it, and we definitely don't think about it when it comes to our kids and their health. But when you learn about the perfect storm and nervous system dysfunction and dysregulation in the next section of this video, you'll be blown away by how pervasive it is and how detrimental it is to our overall health. Not just to our mental and emotional well-being, but even our gut health, immune system function, and so much more. The first point I want to make about nervous system dysregulation is explaining the perfect storm, or the timeline of far too common events that have our children struggling more than ever before. First, early life stressors create a cascade of neurological dysfunction. This often starts during pregnancy, with maternal stress affecting fetal nervous system development. Then, birth interventions such as C-sections, forceps, vacuum extractions, these can all cause physical trauma to the brainstem and vagus nerve. Then, uncoincidentally, early childhood challenges then compound these initial stressors. What does this have to do with the nervous system? The nervous system is the master control center for all bodily functions. Early trauma and stress can create subluxation and dysautonomia. This dysfunction affects sleep, digestion, immunity, and even emotional regulation. And we know children don't grow out of these challenges. They often develop more complex issues down the road. We say this causes a cascade effect, and that looks something like early issues like colic, reflux, and ear infections. Those are the typical warning signs. Then that's leading to repeated antibiotic use, which is disrupting the gut-brain connection. Then environmental toxins and medications compound our neurological stress, and without addressing the root cause, these problems just escalate over time. Thankfully, neurologically focused chiropractic care is the only specialty that identifies and addresses subluxation and nervous system dysfunction. We use advanced insight scanning technology to measure neurological function. Then we are able to create personalized care plans based on each child's specific needs, so we can help restore proper nervous system regulation naturally without drugs. The majority of families we see today at Trinity Life Center not only feel like they've exhausted the traditional or conventional medical system, but they've also gone through countless diet changes, detoxes, and spent thousands of dollars on biomedical and functional medical protocols. But yet, their children are often still stuck, sick, and struggling with things like autism, ADHD, anxiety, OCD, pandas, seizures, and so on. In cases like these, the complex becomes almost simple because you can apply what we call process of elimination while taking the case history and going through things in detail. If it's not simply genetics, gluten, and poor gut health causing your child to be sick, it has to be nervous system dysfunction, dysregulation, and subluxation. And we can find it with our neurological insight scans and cutting-edge technology and clinical protocols. At Trinity Life Center, we specialize in helping children and families break free from the cycle of chronic illness through neurologically focused chiropractic care and the promotion and adoption of a natural, drug-free lifestyle. We not only provide world-class chiropractic care at our office, but we also provide the most empowering and supportive community out there. If you're not only tired of watching your kids and family struggle with chronic or even acute health issues, but you're also sick of feeling like you're going against the grain and going at it all alone, give us a call today or visit the links in our bio to learn more about how to take the next steps in restoring radically good health and well-being for your entire family.